All right, members of the culture. I'm Ra, and you are here. Welcome in, everybody. Purpose of this video is just kind of a recap of my experience at Ishcon. I got to tell you that it was really one of those experiences you don't forget. It was a long drive, so that part I don't envy, right? But the way this whole thing came together was just fantastic. So the purpose of this video is kind of a recap, let you know how things were, what I went through, and what it was like to be at the event. So with your permission and understanding, let's do this. So some months back, I missed out on ZoloCon. I was talking to my good brother from another mother, Clever's Multiverse, and we first threw around the idea of going to Ishcon. You know, I owed him because I missed ZoloCon. I wasn't able to do it, and I tried my best to be a man of my word. You know, I said I was going to go, but I gave my word that I would be at Ishcon, so I made it happen. It was some trials and tribulations, troubles with airline tickets, frustrations, the everything that could seem like that could go wrong would go wrong to try to derail this, but I would not be deterred. If I had to crawl to Ishcon, I was gonna be there because I had given my word to my brother, and I always try to keep my word. So we ended up deciding that I was gonna be there. Him and Mrs. Clever flew down, wonderful people, love both of them. Flew down, and I drove, right? 11 hours, because for those of you that don't know, I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee. And drove down. It was 11 hours. It was a long drive. Good time to, clear my head, get my thoughts together. Wondering, because I had been to like cons, but it's smaller things. Not like, I mean, this one wasn't huge. It's not like a con, like a San Diego or New York, not to that extent, but to a con, right? And I'd been to them before, but this was going to be different, and I knew it. So once I made the decision, packed up everything, left up out of here, got the blessing of my family because of things, for those you don't know, I'm going through a bunch of different things, but that's not the purpose of this video. I'll get in my soapbox about that later. But with the blessings of the family, I went because I said I would, and so I had to roll out. So I left out. The trip was very therapeutic. I don't like to drive. Those hills and mountains up in Tennessee and North Carolina are something. I mean, it's very scenic. So if you just if you need to spend some time kind of getting away from it all and thinking about things, clearing your head, it's a fantastic trip. It's a really good thing. You'll have time to do it. So anyway, I made the trip, got through, arrived, stayed at the Unscripted by Durham. That's a Hyatt hotel. That staff was wonderful. A very nice hotel. I highly recommend you stay there. Hyatt Unscripted Durham. It's a Hyatt hotel. But definitely, I'll put their address in at some point. But definitely recommend them. Couldn't recommend them anymore. Got there, checked in. I was dead tired. Friday afternoon was like the swap. And I remember going through the convention center. Excuse me. When I went to the convention center, it was kind of that shocking moment, like meeting a family member that you had never seen before, because obviously we had, we talked, FaceTime, done all that, but we had never actually met in person. So this was my first time, seeing them in person. I got to, I met Miss Clever. When I tell you these are some wonderful people, they're good people, man. Always make me laugh, smile. We get through life's ups and downs together. They're really good people. I can't say no good things about them. So I ended up going to this swap, which was at like 5 or 6, and I think it was 6. And that was where you kind of met, and I guess maybe some of the vendors were swapping toys or so on and so forth. Anyway, long story short, you could actually buy some stuff early. They did sell some things, some really cool stuff. It was just kind of to whet your appetite for what would be. And what would be, as far as things to come, I couldn't tell you. I was shocked, but it only got better as the time went on. There was anticipation, and let me tell you, it was worth the wait. Enter the box, right? So this was the first thing I received right there, along with my VIP pass, right? Got it right here. Ishcon, baby, bam. Really cool, right? Cool collector's item. I got this chest. Theme was like pirates and boats and all that kind of stuff. So people were cosplaying as pirates and first mates and all of that. But it was a wonderful time, I got to tell you. And so I checked it in. And once I checked in, I had all kinds of cool goodies in here, right? Things to redeem, things to turn in. And it was really cool, right? I still got a coin here I found. And the thing I wanted the most, was weird. You might say, oh, it's strange. Why would you, of all the things to want, why would you want this? But I'm a collector, right? So as a collector, I thought it was really dope. Here it is. One free figure. Got my poker chip. My Ishcon ring. Bunch of stuff, man. Got to see a lot of vendors. I kept all my stuff. So this was Articulated Empire. They were really cool. Really cool. I would definitely recommend you do business with them. I got to meet a lot of great people, including my main man, Articulated Ninja, and the Find My Figure ladies. Fantastic people. Really cool, man. Ninja is one of the most humble, down-to-earth, laid back guys you'll ever meet. Good person, man. Really good brother. The Find My Figures ladies are entertaining, and they're really about that life. Sometimes you wonder, like, nah, they're really not about action figures. No, they are. They are. They're the first people like, yo, where's Elric? How'd it sell out? And I was like, man, they were hunting down all the figures. It was so cool, the experience with them. Meeting Zakanin. Zakanin, man, that's my guy right there. Real cool brother. Although Ninja talked me into riding a bird scooter, I almost died 3 times. I don't do bird scooters. I don't recommend that you do either unless you're good at them. I'm bike riding and stuff like that, not my thing. I almost died. But I did it for the love of having fun, right? I wasn't going to spoil nobody's time. I still had a good time. It was great. But Matt Zakanin, Articulated Ninja, and the Find My Figure ladies. And then a big shout out to my guy right here. Somebody I always wanted to meet. That is my main man, D Amazing. Yes, sir. Man, to get the chance to, and it was kind of I had a chance to sit down and talk with D Amazing, and it was fantastic, man, to be at the learning tree, I call it, right there with him, and to pick his brain on photography and what got him into the hobby and why he enjoys doing the things he does. I will take that experience, the whole thing as a whole. I'll take it to my grave, but particularly getting the chance to meet him because he's someone that inspired me one of the inspirations for me doing my channel, for me taking pictures of figures, posing them and all that kind of stuff. Without D Amazing, I never would have done that. So big shout out to D Amazing. Thank you so much, brother, for all the wisdom you dropped on me and the time that you spent, your valuable time that you spent with me. I really appreciate you. The show was fantastic, man. There were a bunch of great vendors, and I got videos up on the Instagram channel. The name of these people escapes me right now. I don't even think I got a card in the chest. I don't think so. But they did a diorama piece that was crazy. I had never seen anything like that. It was like a command post, right? It was, I'd never seen anything like it. It was, if I think of what their names, you know what, I may be able to find it here. I feel like maybe it was them. Maybe. I'll find out. Anyway, like I said, it'll be up on the channel, so you'll be able to see it, right? But nonetheless, the purpose of it is when I got to go to the con and I went from booth to booth, there were people that were selling their comics. They're like a guy that that might have been his card I just showed. He had a comic called Crit, which stands for Constantly Running Into Trouble. Fantastic story from him on how he started that. Really good comics. If you can check them out, please do. There was another gentleman, Sparrow, that had the figures from the Animal Kingdom. He told me his story. Very inspiring. There was a lot going on, man. I learned so much on this trip. I thought it would just be about, to be honest with you, just about plastic, but it wasn't. It was about stories. It was about camaraderie. The time that I had getting to sit down with some of the people that I just mentioned and others. There were so many others that I talked to that I got to listen to their stories and why they came to the con. Big shout out to Figure Fight Club. Those guys, Abby and all those guys were absolutely amazing and awesome. Shout out to Nostalgia Unboxed, meeting him, Geek Dad Life. It was great. But getting to listen to these people that shared their stories, and we came together. And I got to tell you, it's a feeling like I cannot describe to you, right? For those of you that aren't in the hobby, you may not understand it, right? But I would tell you strongly to just give a con a chance. Go to one, hear the stories, and understand what it is that brings us together as brothers and sisters in this crazy world of plastic crack, as they say. Of course, there was a lot of good stuff I did get. I mean, and I'm not going to tell you everything. It'll be on the channel. So please make sure you go to the YouTube channel, The Great Rod Forever, Instagram, The Great Rod Forever. Same thing on TikTok. I'll be posting videos and stuff there where you'll be able to see it. But there was so many cool things. And shout out again to Articulated Ninja. I got my very first figure from Savage Crucible. And this is the Royal Guard. And let me tell you something right now. The way, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, the way that his outfit pops in the light when it hits it, it is crazy right here. My first Savage Crucible figure, but clearly I can assure you this will not be my last Savage Crucible. This thing is bad ass, man. A Royal Guard. It's just, Ninja shared with me the story of Savage Crucible, the company, and so on and so forth. It's fascinating. It's really fascinating. But getting to be out there and listen to people tell their stories, I realized that the bigger purpose in this con had nothing at all to do with plastic, but it had to do with brotherhood. And it had to do with stories that we all had to tell. Like we were swapping stories, but there was no campfire, no s'mores. It was just men and women sitting there telling each other their stories. How I started with this comic book line. What made me start making these dials. What made me do these accessories. How I started with my own figure line. There was so much to learn, man. And I was like a sponge trying to absorb and soak up as much of that as I could. It was an experience that when I tell you it was worth it, I mean, considering everything I had going on, a chance to kind of get away and then to learn, man. Because I say, if you're not learning every day, what are you doing? Especially hearing the next person's story. It was powerful, man. It was powerful. Shout out to Spanglish, great restaurant with some really good food. The Durham Food Hall. I think it's called the Great Food Hall. Patty Boys. Y'all know I like to eat, okay? That food was amazing. Shout out to Patty Boys. If you're ever in the Durham, North Carolina area, please try that food. And Spanglish, amazing food. The arepas and just an empanada, just amazing food all the way around. My whole time was fantastic, but it was learning. So if you were thinking that it was just about going down there and just grabbing the latest things, it wasn't. It was a learning experience. Getting to meet other creators, like I said, Zakanan. I had seen him before, but never met him. It was awesome meeting him. And then we talked about like all of what was going on. It's an experience I'll never forget. It's not just about toys, man. Like to quote a line from my good brother, Clever's Multiverse, this channel, it's more than just toys, right? There's stories behind the toys. There's people behind the stories. It all comes together in a way that you just have to experience. I can't even just tell it to you, right? Pictures don't do enough justice, but they try, But like I said, it'll be up on the channel. But what I took away from it was the world was so much bigger than I thought it initially was. I know there's a lot of collectors and stuff like that, but my world and my view of this world opened up exponentially at Ishcon. And it won't be my last one. I mean, there's other cons I plan on attending. And I'll bring you guys along for the journey when I go. But if you get a chance, go on out there, man. Live life, I promise you. Because every day, every single day is a chance to learn and to have fun. We all work jobs and we don't give enough time, I think. They say stop and smell the roses. I'm guilty of it, so I'm not a hypocrite, right? Take your time. Go to a con. Go on vacation. Enjoy yourself. But for the purpose of this video, to all my collector friends, get out there. Go to a con. Experience it. Learn some stories, man. Swap some figures. Do those things and do it with the people you care and you love, right? Make sure that you do that because time waits for no man, okay? Tomorrow's not promised. And to quote my man Ninja, try to appreciate it more than you complain about it. I agree 100%. Wise words. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me just a few minutes of your time to tell you about Ishcon. Look for pictures and all that stuff on the Instagram channel. I promise you, it'll be worth your while. I've got reviews and stuff coming. This week will be a great week, I promise you. So until I see you guys, and hopefully I'll see you for the new and improved Catch the Fade and 5 Count podcast later this week on Thursday. But just stay tuned to the community page. We'll have updates and stuff there. So until I see you guys again, thank you so much for your time. Until we meet again, please continue to stay tuned. Please continue to stay collected. Above all, please continue to stay great. I will see you all out there.